Hello everyone and welcome to episode 105 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channels. It is the New Japan Cup. Hard to believe, 104 episodes ago, this is where it all started with our first New Japan Cup. And as far as with this 2026 edition, it's a pretty jam-packed one, as far as 32 men. I would say you have a lot of different paths for a lot of different interesting participants. And as far as without further ado, here is the bracket. As far as to talk about it. So the first 4 nights will be first round matchups. We'll start in the top left. It's Pac and Leonardo Fujinami is the first matchup. Then Jonathan Gresham and Kota Ibushi. That is a hell of a match, especially for a first round matchup. That should be a lot of fun to see. Who wins that one? Juice Robinson versus Calvin Tankman. And then Shota Umino versus Miro to round out the first round for the first night. Going on to the next night, first round matches are Jay White versus Kenta, which that has been a heavyweight title matchup before during the series. As far as I want to say that was that 2023? I think it might have been 2022, 2023, around that time. But yeah, that should be a fun little first round matchup. Then Brody Lee versus Takuya Nomura. Kushida versus Pentagon Jr. and Joe Doring versus Will Hobbs to round it up. A couple of big motherfuckers battling it out there. As then the third night here for the first round, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Hiroki Goto. Tanahashi wants to win this New Japan Cup before he hangs it up for the third time, and he would tie Hiroki Goto. Well, to do that, he's got to beat him in the first round, at least to start his path to the finals. I feel like that's just a fun little match there for him as far as for both guys. Goto can keep the, as far as his record of the most New Japan Cup wins intact with no tie, or Tanahashi's got to get through him to be able to make it to all the way, obviously, through his path. And then we have Alex Coughlin versus Eddie Kingston in the second matchup there. Rush versus Tetsuya Naito, the former LIJ member, taking on the LIJ leader, of course now part of the Bomb Squad, man who turned his back. And not only turned his back, well, mainly just, as far as stabbed him in the back, mainly so didn't even turn on it, then, turned his back to him, stabbed him in the back, and as far as was kind of the first shot of this Bomb Squad LIJ war, seeing Rush leave LIJ for the Bomb Squad. So that should be a fun first round matchup, and then Yuya Uemura taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, Kingdom of Strong style. As far as the leader, in Shinsuke Nakamura taking on a member in Yuya Uemura. What a huge opportunity that is for Uemura, though, to beat somebody like Shinsuke Nakamura, to beat the leader of Kingdom of Strong Style. That would really help elevate his stock. And for Nakamura, he's won this New Japan Cup before. It was back in 2014. It's been a while since, of course, he's had a lot of main event success. Mainly, he's been in the Never Openweight title scene, but he's got a chance to change that and to be able to win the New Japan Cup here for the second time in his career, and to be able to potentially, as far as if he beats Konosuke Takeshita, will be the heavyweight champion once again. Then for the final first round matchups, that will be taking place on night 4, Brody King versus Daniel Makabe in a bit of a David and Goliath matchup there. Brody King, a huge man. Daniel Makabe, not so much of a big man, but super talented nonetheless. Has a lot of submission moves, is able to potentially get a submission win over the big man, or we'll see the big man use his size and strength to overpower Daniel Makabe and squash him like a bug and get the win. Takanori Ito versus the Great Okan in the second matchup there on night 4. Then Evil and Rey Fenix, which, boy, that's a fun match as far as with Evil and Rey Fenix, kind of polar opposites there. Again, kind of a power versus speed matchup as well. And then to end out not only the first round matches, but to end out night 4, Hiromu Takahashi versus Shingo Takagi. Rush and Naito, of course, being on night 3 as far as a LIJ Bomb Squad matchup. Well, it's not the only one as far as we see Hiromu and Shingo there with LIJ versus Bomb Squad matchup on night 4 as well. We will update, of course, throughout the graphics here with as far as what's going to look like as far as for the second round matches and, all that fun jazz. As, without further ado, though, let's get right into it as we will have to add probably a match or two once we get into the booking stage here, because, yeah, we want to have at least 6 matches instead of 4, but we have all the New Japan Cup matches pre-booked, ready to go. Just feel like it'd be nice, to at least show some of the booking stuff, at least for the undercard stuff, as Dante Martin lifted the locker room by organizing and then winning a video game tournament. Tanahashi passing on tips on psychology to Shogo Takebo, and then Tomohiro Ishii passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford. So, as far as for our main event, Juice and, well, probably, actually, Gresham and Kota Ibushi's probably the main. This is going to be the best matchup, and Kota Ibushi beats Jonathan Gresham. Yeah, first time meeting here, so maybe potential bad chemistry matchup. Other than that, should be a banger. And now we got to find out what's the technical masterclass matchup out of these 4. Alright, so far, Juice and Tankman. As, Calvin Tankman, I feel like last year, I felt like he had a big run in the New Japan Cup, if I remember correctly here. Let's take a look. Yeah, he had the double count out with Hobbs, so it wasn't that one. Maybe it wasn't the New Japan Cup, where he kind of went on a nice little run. Yep, must not have been. Because I'm not seeing it. Yeah, because he was tag champs there. Or yeah, tag title matchup there, rather. So, but, yeah, as far as for Juice, make it into the next round, he's obviously someone that hasn't really had some single success in a hot minute. He was U.S. champion before the save, obviously. That was about it as far as with the single title matches. He's been New Japan Strongbow champion, but he didn't have any defenses. So it's a long time without any type of gold. He's been the Never Openweight 6-man champion, though, 4 times. Obviously, all during the save. And almost all with different partners. Of course, part of Liberty United there for one point or another. And as far as... well, that was actually not Liberty United. That was... I think it was just Lionmark, if I remember correctly. Yeah, with Dave Finlay Jr. God, that was... I thought we got rid of Dave Finlay Jr. way early on in the save. I guess we did. But yeah, this was actually during the Gauntlet match. During Wrestle Kingdom, actually, that might have been the first time we did it at New Year's Dash. But, yeah, as far as... This could be a great opportunity for not only him, but for Peace, Love, and War to kind of get back up into a top contention. He is, 36 years old. He's still pretty young compared to a lot of the other main star guys that we have. We got Pac and Leona Fujinami. This is the technical masterclass matchup, as Pac will be beating... Fujinami's beaten him in the G1 past couple of years now. Beats him here in the New Japan Cup. Then Shota Umino and Miro, which Shota Umino with a major upset. So, it's an 8-minute match. So, a lot of people are like, what the hell's going on? Basically, what we're going to see is Miro's got him in like a bear hold him. He's got him in a bear hug. And he's basically turning it into like a body lock clinch. And he's looking to use his weight and drive him into the corner. When he does so, Umino's gonna fall down before he gets to the buckle, kind of slips out of it. But Miro's still running at full speed. Hits not only the turnbuckle pad, but he actually hits the top of the post because he's going with so much force that it kind of carries his momentum all the way through. So, as far as boinks himself on the head, maybe even some color, as far as to at least create that, oh boy, he is fucked. Shota Umino pulls a fast one on him after that. Hits his finish and gets the win. I can't believe Miro's not even going to complain about it, but that is a massive upset in the first round. So that should be a lot of fun to see. I believe that's also a first time meeting. Yep. So maybe bad chemistry, maybe good chemistry. You never know. So really with this New Japan Cup, as far as undercard matches, we want to have probably undercard tag matches. That's probably for the best. I don't want to have people that are working the next night in any of these matches, at least for right now. So we'll probably just stick to Young Lion members as far matches. So yeah, we could use Kiyomitsu Kasai, and I believe he works well with the Asbaka Okamoto. So we'll see how they do, as they're going to take on the team. The Connors is back, which is nice, but we'll probably go with Tetsuya Endo. Yeah, let's go Endo, Shooting Skywalker. Works for me for Blast Off. And yeah, well, this is just to give Tetsuya Endo a win. Nice. And we'll go with a junior tag match for the next one. We'll go Ishimori. Actually, let's make it a trios. Let's go Takeda, Taiji Ishimori. And we'll go with, as far as the... I was thinking, doing the American Young Lions, we might just go with some Japan ones, because we got, we can use Takagawa, Masahiro Hara, and Kuya Miyagi. That works for me. Yeah, we have some new Young Lions as well. We have Masaki Fukuzawa, which we need to give him a picture. That should be fun to see how he does. Here we have Yoritoki Suzuki. He hasn't been used at least since February. Just try to at least get... Yeah, we haven't even used Masahiro Hara since November, so it's been a long time. Because these Young Lion classes, I mean, they've been rolling through with new guys left and right. It's been kind of hard to keep up with some of them. Yeah, we're going to give Takeda a win, because I have a soft spot for him still. Even though he is not very good in the save anymore. But yeah, as far as that's the opener. Let's see where we're going to run this show. I don't want to run Kanto, at least for right now. I think we're going to go with the Civic General Gymnasium for this first night. Actually. Yeah, we have this, the Momotaro Arena. Which that should be a sellout. That's going to be nice. Yeah, we'll run that. 11,000 people. Let's go. 62 for the opener. And it's the House of Torture team getting the win over the Young Lions. It's Takeda with the ankle lock win over Masahiro Hara. Yeah, Masahiro Hara, the worst guy in the matchup. No surprise. That's kind of why we don't book him anyways, because he's pretty bad. But, yeah, again, Kuya Miyagi is really good. Especially for a Young Lion. 43 with the in-ring performance. Pretty solid. 58 for Bakken Okamoto and Kiyomitsu Kasai against Tetsuya Endo and Shun Skywalker. So the Phoenix Splash from Tetsuya Endo over Kiyomitsu Kasai as, just a decent little matchup for the Young Lions. Pac and Leona Fujinami, 630 from Pac, getting the win in 25-39. He goes on to the next round. And the shocking upset of Shota Umino over Miro. Yeah, we didn't even give him his finish, I don't think. God damn it. So he just wins with a pin. For this, he could be a roll-up after, he gets color and whatnot, but I want him to, as far as... I felt like we gave him his finishers, I guess we didn't. But yeah, just that's a tough break for Miro to lose in the first round like that, but got the crowd buzzing too. Hell yeah. One of their own, getting a huge win. Damn, Tankman and Juice Robinson, they don't click. It's a decent little matchup though in 81. Pulp Friction from Juice over Calvin Tankman. Slight upset, the rating difference, but that's alright. Then 87 for our main event as the Last Ride style Tiger Driver from Kota Ibushi over Jonathan Gresham. Nice win, fun main event, especially for the first night. The round, not a bad show. It's on to night 2 we go. Alrighty, day 2, as again, New Japan World. As always, we have a backstage incident. Tetsuya Kento, as he brightened the move backstage after doing several funny cartoon drawings with some of his colleagues. As for the main event, probably Jay White and Kenta, as Kenta's gonna beat him. As Jay White and Kenta, they've had the G1 Climax kickoff match, as far as that was at the very first ever G1 show. Back in September of 2020. Jay White beat him. Of course, he ended up winning the whole goddamn thing. Yeah, that was 2021 was the Power Struggle Heavyweight title matchup. So I was a little off. But yeah, that's the last time they've had a match, singles-wise, was 2021. So, 5 years in the making. Kenta's going to beat him here. Really no surprise. Kenta's been surprisingly still performing at a pretty high level, even at his age and kind of the shape of his body right now, or just the I wouldn't say the shape of his body, the condition of his body. He'd be beat up for sure. He's had a lot of shoulder problems at this point. Obviously in real life, and actually in the mod here, I don't think he's really been injured a whole lot. Weirdly enough. Oh no, that's not it. Is his skills. Yeah, he dislocated his finger and he got a hip sprain. Other than that, relatively healthy. Just kind of shocking. Hey, 44. Yeah, long time going after it, as far as at that point, well over 20 years. He debuted, it'd be 26 years, give or take. Yeah, because he debuted in 2000. God, that's a long time. Long time. Brody Lee and Takuya Nomura can go here. And Takuya Nomura is going to be Brody Lee, a man who won the, second ever New Japan Cup. Of course, he followed, he followed Tomohiro Ishii. 2021. A man who, had a great run. As far as U.S. champion, was booked pretty dominantly at a lot of times. Never was a G1 winner. But yeah, U.S. champion was probably his highlight. Of course, leader of the Dark Order. And weirdly enough, never been a tag champion. But yeah, and also another guy that obviously, it sucks that, when we started this, believe Brody might not have passed yet when we started this. Way back when. Obviously now, sucks to think that in 2026 it's going to be 6 years. It's sad. Sad. But I'm glad we've been able to book him here in the save. That's kind of another thing that I've loved about this save is, unfortunately those that we've lost at a time that we shouldn't have, for people far too young. We didn't book Jay Briscoe at all. Mainly because Jay Briscoe at that time, really, him and Mark had worked New Japan a couple of times. And, there was times when maybe we thought about bringing him in for a tag league or something, but, just as far as never really paid into tuition. And now, obviously, we just brought in Bray. And even Katsuya Nomura, a guy that we brought in and we've booked for a good while before he passed. Just sucks. Sucks. All those guys we just mentioned, as far as, all of them were not even 40. It just sucks. Sucks. Oh, yeah, as far as I didn't hit book segment. Yeah, but Brody now is unfortunately slowing down, which would make sense. Probably at that time, he's a big dude and working a hard schedule like he's had. As far as working New Japan at that size for a long time at that point, a couple of years, 6 years. That's a lot of wear and tear on you. Same thing with Joe Doring. He's got, poor Joe. He's gone through hell and back. As far as multiple now sessions of, as far as chemotherapy and multiple cancer scares. God, he's went through hell and back. But he's still with us. Thank God. He's taking on Will Hobbs here as far as a battle of the meat here. Some big beefy boys battling out. Will Hobbs is going to beat him in 10 minutes. So as far as Doring going to be losing there. And then Technical Masterclass matchup. Kushida and Pentagon Jr. Kushida beat him a couple of years back during the G1. That's their only matchup. As far as Pentagon Jr. getting a massive victory. So that's awesome. See, I believe Will Hobbs and Doring, they've had a couple of matches. Mainly, they had the G1 match. I want to say that was Joe's first G1. I want to say that's when we did the, we brought in, as far as freelance guys from All Japan and Noah. I want to say that was the case. If not, that was the year after when we brought in Joe, at least from a freelancer perspective. Then we actually brought him in full time. And then, Will Hobbs, as far as beat Doring last year, or not last year, a couple of years back during the New Japan Cup. So it's been a while, at least since their last singles encounter. But yeah, as far as, also I don't even think we talked about Brody and Takuya Nomura's matches. Brody beat him during the 2022 G1. Then Takuya Nomura beat him the following year. Then the year after that, so all they've had is G1 matches for the past couple of years. They didn't have one last year, though, in 2025. They broke the streak. Takuya Nomura is now going to be up 3-1 against Brody in not G1 matches, just in matches in general. But for the first time, at least battling out in a New Japan Cup match. So, as far as a lot of Dark Order people involved, so I'd like to see maybe Silver and either Black Taurus or even just, let's make it a trios matchup. We'll have Silver and Reynolds and Black Taurus. Which, Alex Reynolds, funny enough, his contract is coming up. This is, at this point, Alex, he's, it's kind of crazy to think he's been with us, obviously, pretty much from the beginning. Him and Silver, of course, they had the one junior heavyweight title reign at the Tag League, and they dropped it at the Wrestle Kingdom show. Other than that, not really, any type of title success or anything, but they've obviously had they've had a nice little path for him. But I think it's time for him, at least for Silver. He's 37, so he's still got a couple more years, but Reynolds, at that time, or at this point, not really necessary anymore. He's not even, he's unimportant now, as far as popularity-wise. We could just have him, and as far as Silver and Black Taurus team up. It's just funny, because Black Taurus is literally just only a year younger than Alex Reynolds, but he's still better, so it's just as far as that just comes down to an actual skill thing there. But as far as for them, they're going to give them the American Young Lions. So we got Jerome St. Pierre, we'll have Jonathan Peck, and Don Marcotte. Don Marcotte is actually looking to be pretty good, at least for right now. He's got a lot of upside, for sure. He might be the best American out of the LA Dojo side of things. We'll see, though. A lot can still change. But yeah, as far as from that perspective. Brian Nevada was a weird one, because I was thinking about changing his last name, but I figured I might as well keep the Nevada name. But it's crazy, because he's so much older. Like, Jonathan Peck's been here for almost 2 years at this point now. So yeah, he debuted in 2024, if I remember correctly, yeah. So in July, it'll be 2 years, and he's, fucking, 6 years younger. So that just gives him a huge advantage. Or 4 years younger, excuse me, as far as from that perspective. And Jerome St. Pierre is 18 years old. A lot of youth on the LA Dojo side. Yeah, for 10 minutes. Black Taurus. We'll have them beat. Trying to think who would be. Yeah, we'll give him Jerome St. Pierre the loss. There we go. Actually, here's a farewell present for Alex Reynolds. You get a win. Get a win over a young lion. The tag match we'll go with. I was thinking Tozawa and Hook. We might go with AI and Hook. Because, there's only one Suzuki-gun member in this whole New Japan Cup. Of course, being Takanori Ito, with Ashino and Claudio being the tag champs, they're not involved. So as far as they kind of caught a lucky break, as far as from that regard. I'm trying to think, what's another young lion team we could have? Because I don't think Suneo Takayama, I don't believe he has it now. I think Shobo does. Shobo Takibo. Yeah, he's got a Kuya Miyagi. Well, we just use a Kuya Miyagi, so. Yeah, we have Fumio Nakanawa. Trying to think who else we can. Yeah, we have Yoritoki Suzuki, so we'll throw him out there. We also have Shonen, who's not very good at all, as far as you can see. He's got at least some good stats here towards kind of like the basics and selling and stuff, but up top here, he's got a whole lot of nothing. He's a whole lot of mid. So he's someone that probably will not make it very far, unfortunately for him. Yeah, we'll have Hook get the win. Yeah, we'll make it open, though. Nice. Alrighty, so day 2 in the books. Trying to think. Yeah, we have the, we could run the Green Dome, 20,000, but that'd be a little too much, I think, as far as, from that regard. We got 5,000. Yeah, we'll run this, yeah, we'll run this, General Gymnasium. Kitakyushu. General Gymnasium. 10,000 people, though. Nice size place. Should be a fun main event, though, as far as with White and Kenta. Though, yeah, I mean, Yoritoki Suzuki, pretty good, actually. I was talking all that shit. But, 32 is not bad. Not bad at all. As, Yaya actually stood out, which is pretty interesting, with a 67. But, yeah, Fumio Nakanawa struggling a little bit there with a 14. Not great. Not great there. As Dark Order beating Jonathan Beck, Del Marcotte, and Jerome St. Pierre. Look at that, 17 years, or 18 years old. And he's the best fucking young lion in that matchup, thanks to them being off their games. Or no, Jonathan Beck outperformed him still. Never mind, but still. Pretty good performance from him, as Alex Reynolds submitting Jerome St. Pierre with a Reynolds wrap. I mean, a 62 is not terrible by any means. We probably could have him be in Game Changer Wrestling and be fine, because, we own that now as far as have a U.S. developmental deal for him potentially, but yeah, just as far as we're going to let him spread his wings. Maybe another Japanese company will try and hire him. Kushida, Pentagon Jr. Pentagon Jr. is going to get the win the cross armbar, an 80. Good performance from Pentagon. So 74 for Joe Doring's Will Hobbs, as it sucks that Doring strains his rotator cuff. But the order of business gets the win for Will Hobbs in 9:35. Huge victory for Will Hobbs. Sucks about the injury, and it was Will Hobbs who caused it. Just great. 73 from Brody Lee and Takuya Nomura. I forgot they have great chemistry, but Dragon Suplex from Takuya Nomura dumps Brody Lee on his head in 20 minutes, gets the win. Massive victory, though, for Takuya Nomura. Massive stuff there. And 83 for the main event is the Busaiku knee. After the Kenta combo from Kenta onto Jay White. Still performing at a high level is Kenta. And 83. Was hoping that'd be a little bit better, but we'll take it. I'm surprised Pentagon Jr. and Kushida did so well, but I'm happy for him. Glad that went over so well. So at the halfway point of the first round, first 2 nights over with, so on to night 3 we go. Alrighty, night 3, or day 3 rather, I guess if you want to go off of that, but with the main event, we'll probably go Rush in Naito. That's a big time story with the Bomb Squad, LIJ angle, as Demonic Bomba actually interferes first. He attacks Naito. He, as far as does a, he dives off the top onto him. As far as Naito's trying to, as far as the referee's down, kind of went for a Destino, kicked him in the head type of thing. As far as Rush kind of throws him into the referee. Inadvertently, as far as Naito kicks him in the head, so the referee's down. Naito gets back up, kicks him in the dick, and he's setting up for it again. I knew what I was going to say. Demonic Bomba jumps off the top, drop kicks to the back of the head. But then out comes Bushi, missed onto Rush. So Rush is a bit blinded. Naito hits, Destino finally. Still kicks out, though, at 2, so doesn't get the actual finish off of the mist. Rush, as far as ends up overcoming it all, ends up, as far as Demonic Bomba, he's got some water for him, gets the mist out of his eyes type of thing on the outside, grabs it off the table at ringside. A commentator, has some bottled water there. And, as far as hits his finish, gets the win. Overcomes it. And, as far as Naito's going to struggle a little stamina-wise, but other than that, as far as it's a pretty straightforward contest. Kome, Nakamura, and Yui Uemura. Nakamura's going to beat Uemura in 26 minutes. It's a fun showcase match for Uemura. He's been out of the Young Lion phase for a couple of years now. He's 31. Hard to believe at 2026. I mean, yeah, he'd be 31, whereas obviously here in real life, he just came back as a Heat Wave, as far as a little gimmick, now that the part of back at New Japan again. Boy, his stats are not great. As that's happened to a lot of those young lions that were excursion during the time, as far as in the save, where they were just pretty brutal. Yeah, actually, we sent him on excursion. Yeah, he was actually still here. Him and Yuta Tsuji. He definitely did not have a better run than Yuta Tsuji's had so far with us. But yeah, after basically like a month, or not a month, basically a year with us, we sent him to AEW, and he was working 0-1 stuff at the time as well. We were just, mainly he was getting his work in 0-1 more so than us. When do we officially send him on excursion? Because I'm just seeing nothing but 0-1 dates. Wow, did we just never send him on excursion? We might not have, as far as, that's pretty wild. But, yeah, I mean, Uemura loses to Nakamura there, as he's the agent, didn't even see that. And we got Alex Coughlin, Eddie Kingston. Alex Coughlin beats Kingston in 12 minutes. Again, Eddie Kingston just kind of doesn't have his mind set on this New Japan Cup. His mind's elsewhere. His mind's thinking about his friend. Where's he at? As far as for that perspective. So, Coughlin catches him, counters the Black Eye Lariat with a Saito suplex. Feet on the ropes, as far as covers him with the feet on the ropes, gets the win. A pretty brutal loss for him. And then Tanahashi and Goto. It would have been very, very funny to have Hiroki Goto beat him. But no, as far as Tanahashi's going to beat him. 18 minutes. This was kind of a match that just made sense, as far as the whole arc of Tanahashi. Makes sense for him to have to go through Goto. Gets the win, though. A lot of people dealing with stamina issues, of course, because everybody basically has been working 20 minutes. Besides Eddie Kingston, he's got to work 12. But most of those guys are over 40. Yeah, Kingston still doing well, though, stats-wise. Relatively, especially psychology-wise. One of our best guys that, as far as from a psychology perspective, that we have. So as far as undercard matchup, probably going to go with a women's tag match. As, let's see. So we got Athena of Donna Del Mundo. We'll probably do her, and yeah, we got Saletta, and that's, I think that's it as far as for, the Donna Del Mundo team. Because obviously, Julia, we do not have her right now. But they're going to take on Starlight Kid. Actually, we'll go Hana Kimura and Rina. But yeah, this is just going to be a win for Hana Kimura. Building up to her match with Julia that's happening at the New Japan Cup. So as far as we'll have her beat Athena. Alright, and then we'll go with the trios match. Another Young Lion contest, probably. And let's see. Well, we could have Flight Club. Could go with that. I think we're going to stick with the Young Lions, though. We'll go Oleg and Oscar. And then we'll go with... trying to think of the American we can use. Yeah, I guess we'll use Brian Nevada. As far as the people involved here, we'll go Kingdom of Strong Style. We'll go Shelly, Tomato. Guess we could use Kushida since he's not hurt anymore, but... or not hurt, he's been, as far as he had his New Japan Cup matchup, and he lost. But I think we'll go with this, though. With Ren Narita in Kashinato. We'll have Narita get a win over Nevada. This is mainly solely off the strength of Alex Shelley. The only guy that could have a decent rating out of that. So he's got his work cut out for him with this one. Yeah, I think we're going to run the... oh god, we about ran the baseball stadium. Yeah, well, I think we're going to run this Mokomani Ice Arena here. We'll be close to a sellout. We're not going to use our figurehead, so it'll probably be a little under a sellout, but that's alright. Yeah, no, it's still a sellout. Never mind, 11,500. Under Kaji D'Amato could still work. I mean, listen, we're going to have our boy get some more wins. He's still the man. God damn it. But Ren Narita did pretty well as well. Narita special number 4 gets the win in 10-19. Brian Nevada with a 40. Again, that's pretty good stuff. Oscar did pretty well. Oleg still got a ways to go. Not a bad showing for the young lions there. 71 for the Donna Del Mundo and TCS matchup here. Santa Kimura with the big boot over Athena. See, Athena, worst woman in the match. Tough break for her. 60 for Tanahashi and Hiroki Goto. A 24 for Hiroki Goto. Hard to believe it. Hard to believe it. Yeah, exhausted by the end. No surprise. But Ishii's out there too, so that's kind of fun to have Ishii out there as well. You have Tanahashi looking good still. He's still the goddamn ace. God damn it. As what a win for Tanahashi as the SCF. Alex Coughlin. So, not, the finish I talked about basically was using a counter to pick up the victory of the back fist. Ducks it into a Saito suplex. I just feel like it's a fun finish out of the back fist. But, yeah, so it's not this. But I get it in that same breath. Coughlin, though, gets the win in 12-20. He outperformed him. So, I mean, the right guy got the win. He's taking on Tanahashi in the next round. And then Shinsuke Nakamura with the Bomaye on to Yui Moore. Gets the win in 26-12. Listen, how about the old guard? Nakamura and Tanahashi, they're still doing 70s. It's still not over for them. And then Rush and Naito both get outperformed by Tanahashi and Nakamura. 68s for both men. And Naito is pretty much on E at that point. We get the interference from Demonic Bomba and also from Bushi as well. The Lanza from Rush over Tetsuya Naito in 24-03, so he advances to the next round. And our final first round matchups are coming up next here for night 4. So far, we've seen one member of Bomb Squad advance to the next round. We'll see if Hiromu will be joining him, or will we see somebody else. Yeah, it's hard to believe Big E, Power E, part of the Foundation. Many moons ago, it feels like Wrestle Kingdom 16 was. But, yeah, I mean, as far as on to night 4, we'll see the end of the first round. We'll also be seeing some of the second round matches as well on that show, because I wanted to really jam it up. I believe that's the case. I could be wrong. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. As your Toki Suzuki. Yeah, we might potentially bring in Samoa Joe. He's not going to be probably on the main New Japan side. He's 46. He could still go, but mainly he's going to be a GCW guy, which is so funny to say. Because we're trying to build that brand. That is for sure. Yeah, we can, let's just go ahead and run night 4 over here. Yeah, I am correct here in that thinking. So, backstage incident. It's Chono, as he left the locker room. A silly little game he invented, quickly became very popular backstage. So, as far as for... So we have the second round matches for Pac and Ibushi, and for Juice and Umino. Those are going to be towards the end, obviously. We still want to have the first round matches. So Takanori Ito and the Great Okan, I believe, is the Tactical Masterclass matchup. It is. Okan will be beating him. Takanori Ito and the Great Okan, I think stylistically it matches up pretty well. It's crazy Okan's 34 at this rate. Because, I mean, yeah, he's in his 30s at this point, almost, in 2023. I think he actually might have just turned 30. Yeah, if my math is correct. As far as, in real life. I believe I saw his birthday. That just happened. As far as he gets the win, going on to the next round. Evil, Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix beats Evil. We almost had an Evil as far as either Shingo or Hiromu match in the second round, but nope, Rey Fenix gets the win in 13 minutes. And we'll have Brody King and Daniel Makabe as David beats Goliath. Makabe's going to beat Brody King. Another first time meeting there. That should be fun to see how Daniel Makabe does. And our final first round matchup, Hiromu, Shingo. And we see interference from the debuting Jiro Kuro Shio, as boy, oh boy, the newest member of the Bomb Squad's quite a character in Jiro. Just a perfect guide, I think, to kind of counterpoint with Hiromu. Just two peas in a pod, those two, as far as the being able to do kind of wacky, fun gimmicks as far as really playing up the outrageousness of the Bomb Squad there with that. As far as the Bomb Squad's getting pretty big already. You have, obviously now Hiromu and Jiro and Kawato. You also have Rush, you have Ryui, you have Samurai del Sol, you have Demonic Bomba. A lot of people already with the Bomb Squad, but that's 2 straight victories for the Bomb Squad, and a new debut as well. Pretty massive. And it gives him the win as well. So, the second round, as far as looks like this, Pac, Kota Ibushi, Juice Robinson, Shota Umino, which we'll be seeing who goes on to the quarterfinals there, in as far as very, very shortly. We also have Kenta and Takuya Nomura, Pentagon Jr., Will Hobbs, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Alex Coughlin, Rush versus Shinsuke Nakamura, that's a fun match, Daniel Makabe in the Great Okan, and Rey Fenix in Hiromu, which is a banger of a matchup, and a match that, God, is going to be quite impressive. But yeah, so far, with these, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16 min left, obviously, 32 minus, or I guess divided by 2, there you go, as far as that's an easy figure to figure out, but this should be a fun second round. Already with this Pac Kota Ibushi match is going to be crazy. And we'll see what if Shota Umino can keep the winning ways going. That match is going to be the co-main. And Juice is going to beat Shota Umino. How about that? As we gave Shooter his finishes, though. He's going to have Moxley's Death Rider, which he does. Obviously, in real life, because it just makes sense. He also has the single leg version as well. You have the double leg where, as far as you lift them both up. And then you have the single leg where it's just the one leg up. And also, he's got the Shooter Lock, which I just kind of figured he wanted to... I wanted something to where, obviously, anybody can have a submission, and it makes sense for him to do. I wanted it to be more of like the Regal Stretch version of like an STF, where it's maybe not so much... It's like a combination of Rings of Saturn, which obviously Pac uses, and what, the Regal Stretch, which obviously Moxley's done in the past. So kind of using both of the Goy Bastards as far as using both of their kind of combinations of a finish into the Shooter Lock. A lot of fun as far as what his finishes are. But he's going to lose here to Juice Robinson, unfortunately. He had the huge upset over Miro, but hey, listen, you can't win them all. It's a good start for him, though. And then our main event, though, Pac and Ibushi, a banger here, and Pac's gonna beat him. This has been a UWFI rules match at one point. It's a never openweight title match at one point. They, of course, was the first ever 60-minute time limit that we ran here on the save for the anniversary show, and then they had the rematch in the G1. They went 60, they went 30. Both those times it wasn't enough, and we had to wait a long time before we finally got, it was the Sakura Genesis show of 2022, we finally saw a finish in that matchup, and so far now it's 2-2-2. It's kind of well that's worked out with Kota Ibushi and Pac. As far as Pac going on to the quarterfinals, he'll be taking on Juice Robinson. Oh, we have to cut 2 minutes off. Just cut off 2 minutes of that. Actually, let's cut 2 minutes from that. And add a minute back to that. Alright, so with this matchup, I don't think, again, we don't want to run Kanto. Don't think we're going to run Osaka as well or anywhere like that. I think we'll be running Chubu for this one, for the Nagoya Civic Journal Gymnasium. Yeah. Good call. Good call here. So yeah, let's run it and see how we go. It's 77. for the last first-round matchups here, as far as the Great Okami, 1 point better than Takanori Ito. Gets the run to Cobra Clutch, an 80 for Ray Phoenix in Evil. The Meteora from Ray Phoenix getting the win over Evil in 11:41. 77 for Brody King and Daniel Makabe. Man, Makabe's really, really good. And that's a huge win. Yeah, an arm trap German suplex over Brody King to somebody that size. It's a massive victory. And an 87 for Hiromu and Shingo as Hiro Kuroshio gets the interference. I want to say, I want him to do like headbutt shit. I know that's kind of something I try to avoid, but I feel like that he'd be a perfect guy for kind of that, to use his head and do maybe not so, like, obviously diving headbutts off the top, whatnot. That's a terrible idea. That's CTE. That's just injecting CTE into your brain. We're not doing that. Kind of more so, maybe not so much Tomoaki Hanma headbutts, where it's that comical, but maybe like just a running one where he leaps off his feet and does it. Or maybe even like a version like the Missing Link used to do, where it's off the middle rope, so it's a little safer, but it's still a dangerous thing, man. I try not to have guys do that. There's a hard way to protect that, as far as that's still pretty high up there in the air to be dropping down kind of face first like that. But, you get it, though, as far as for that perspective. And 87, that was a good little matchup. So for the second round, I'm getting ahead of myself. Juice Robinson beats Shota Umino with a Pulp Friction, advancing into the next round. It's pretty close, actually, for Shota Umino being off his game. That was a good win, though, for Juice, as he's got to take on Pac, and Pac is just... That's a huge win. First of all, Kota Ibushi with a 79, that's shocking. See, he's finally declining. And he's holding back slightly, but him and Pac were, but that's a hell of a match. Pac getting the win. Awesome to see. Hell of a show. Fuck yeah. Love it. Love it. First 4 nights in the books, though. And we'll be going on to night 5 and 6, which mainly, night 5 will see the rest of the second round matches. I believe they all will be on night 5. Night 6 should be then all of the third round matches. Then for the final night, night 7, we'll see the semifinals to see who's going on to the finals of the New Japan Cup. So yeah, we're just a little over the halfway point now. It's on to night 5, day 5. We go. Alrighty, night 5, day 5, as we'll see the second round matchups here. Which, boy, we have some big ones. But before we get into that, we got a couple of backstage incidents. Matsuhiro Hara was before Wrestlers Court, accused of annoying everyone else with his constant boastering and cocky attitude. Yeah, I mean, having a cocky young lion is pretty funny, as far as that whole process is supposed to kind of stifle that. And, but Nakamura found him guilty and sentenced him to reign violent for the rest of the night and then buy drinks after the show. That's a lot of drinks, and he's not making a whole lot. Hiroshi Tanahashi, though, is passing on psychology tips to Shobo Takebo. So as far as what I want for this main event, it's a good question. Tanahashi and Coughlin don't think it's going to be the main. I mean, Ray Phoenix and Hiromu is probably the best bet. And Hiromu will be beating Ray Phoenix. It's going to go over 30 minutes. It's going to be a 32-minute matchup. Really, the idea is the first round matches are 30-minute time limit. Next round, 45, then 60, and then, unlimited, I guess, would be for the semifinals and finals. But, as far as Hiromu getting that win, had to take over 30 minutes, but he does it. Co-main, I like Rush and Nakamura. And Nakamura will be beating Rush, so as far as one Bomb Squad member at least gets stopped here, Nakamura going on to the next round. We'll go Kenta Takuya Nomura for this next matchup. Kenta's going to beat Takuya Nomura. So Nomura beat him 2 years ago. First ever matchup in the G1. It was a good little matchup then. It was 89. We'll see how they do here. Pentagon Jr., Will Hobbs. As Will Hobbs is going to run through Pentagon Jr. So both Lucha Brothers only making it into the second round. Of course, Pentagon Jr. Is one third, of the Never Weight 6-Man Tag Team Champions. But Pac is still alive. as of course we already know he's into the next round. And then Makabe Great-O-Khan, Zokan, gets the win over his United Empire stablemate. What an upset. Just too strong for him. Makabe going back-to-back with taking on Brody King the first round, then the Great-O-Khan the second round. It's a tough break for him. And Okan's going to get the win, even though stamina-wise not the best issue for him. And then Hiroshi Tanahashi and Alex Coughlin. Tanahashi keeps it going. The ace goes into the next round with a win over Alex Coughlin. They're going to have a pretty good match, though. They have chemistry. They're going to have a fun little match. So, as far as round 2, you see here already in the books, so we'll load up what round 3 is going to look like, and that will, of course, be Pac versus Juice Robinson, Kenta versus Will Hobbs, the Great-O-Khan versus Hiromu Takahashi, and a hell of a third-round matchup, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shinsuke Nakamura. 2 of the 3 Musketeers battling it out. Tanahashi's destiny is to be that, as far as win the New Japan Cup for the 3rd time, and to maybe even potentially be the heavyweight champion one more time before he hangs it up, but Nakamura stands in his way. For the Great-O-Khan, he might be just the puzzle piece for Hiromu, as far as he might just be too much for him. A big man, Hiromu, he's taking on guys like Shingo and Rey Fenix, kind of on the smaller side. A guy with that size might be just winning. He's, as far as might just be the trouble for Hiromu to be able to stop him. And O'Khan might make it into the Final 4. You never know. And then Kenta and Will Hobbs, kind of the same thing there. As far as power beats speed, potentially, in that one. As far as with Will Hobbs, he's, of course, had a pretty big year already for 2026. He won, of course, the New Japan Rumble. Might just win the New Japan Cup. And he might do what Brody Lee did. It's kind of funny to think that Will Hobbs might be the second Gaijin to win the New Japan Cup in following Brody Lee's footsteps. And of course, for Pac and Juice Robinson, as we'll see, as far as will the, of course, a member of Task Force Death beat Peace, Love, and War leader Juice Robinson. We'll find out it at day 5. And so yeah, as far as that's where we're at for the next show. But of course, we'll run this show here, as we'll be trying to think where we should run this show. Because yeah, again, we want to save Kanto, so yeah, we'll probably actually, weirdly enough, I think we're going to have to run it one of these small venues, potentially. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to run the, 5,000 people. We're going to get a hell of a show here. Just kind of is what it is. Yeah, for day 5, you're going to get a Rey Fenix Hiromu Takahashi match, a Rush Nakamura match. Should be pretty good. Let's see how it runs. 79 for the opener as Tanahashi beats Coughlin with the high fly flow. I was hoping to be a little bit better of a matchup, but alas, that's what we get. Thanks to Coughlin being off his game, but still a decent little matchup. 78 for Daniel Makabe and the Great-O-Khan. Another Cobra Clutch win for the Great-O-Khan. Gets the win in 12:06. Can't believe he was visibly tired, though. Too much partying for the Great-O-Khan. Pentagon Jr. loses to Will Hobbs here. Order of business. The big man leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. I mean, he has just been running through people, though, in 2026. Tamura stopped him. But after that looks like it was only maybe a potential speed bump for him. So he's looking for bigger and better things. Kenta took even more than 86 as Kenta would go to sleep in 24:42. It's a big win there. And Shinsuke Nakamura. Triangle choke over Rush. I like that finish. Maybe you have Rush try to powerbomb his way out of it, and he can't. Nakamura hangs on to that triangle choke. Gets the win. Love it. Love it there. As far as Nakamura, outperformed him too. Had an 80. Good performance. And a 91 for our main event. The time bomb win for Hiromu over Rey Fenix. Awesome. Awesome stuff there. We'll take that 91. Hiromu, again, just has been the man of the tournament so far. And we have quite the third round, though. Tanahashi and Nakamura. Hiromu and Okan. We have, of course, with Kenta and Will Hobbs. And we also have Pac and Juice, as they will be competing on the next night here for day 6. As yeah, on to the next night we go. Alrighty, we find out what will be the final four of this New Japan Cup. As we have a couple of backstage incidents. Ishii's passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford, and then Kota Ibushi's passing on psychology to Hideo Oka. As yeah, I mean this is a huge show. As far as to see who's making it to the final four. You got some big time matches. You got some undercard matches as well. You see Jiro Kuroshio is making his debut, as far as in-ring debut, as well on the card. So yeah, we got a lot going on. Main event though, I mean it's got to be Tanahashi and Nakamura. And Nakamura will be beating Hiroshi Tanahashi, so the fairy tale ends here, which we'll have a little post-show press conference as well for the ace. As we'll just say Tana's fairy tale ends here. So yeah, just not the storybook ending he wanted. As he puts over Nakamura, says he's how talented he is, as far as he missed him a lot when he was gone, and now that he's been back, he's still as good as he ever was. Even as far as with him, he just kind of sees that he could still go, but he can just sense that the time's ticking away for the ace. He's not going to be able to be maybe as good as he once was. And he feels that time was slipping away. Felt like this was his last chance. But he also gets, after he's wraps it up, gets confronted by the man he beat in the first round, Hiroki Goto. Goto's not done with him. Says, me and you have unfinished business. As far as Tanahashi's kind of like, I don't know about all that. And he said, well, New Japan Cup, the finals, we'll see you on the, as far as I'm going to put, if you don't want to face me, as far as Tanahashi's kind of playing off, like, I already beat you. Not going to happen, again, I don't want to embarrass you type of thing. He's just really trying to get he's just trying to, at this point, wrap it up. He wants to, hit the showers. He wants to get the fuck out of here. Goto's not allowing him to kind of get past him, and he gets into a bit of a, you could feel the tension, finally, eventually, and Goto's like, listen, I'll put my career on the line, if that's what it takes. I'll hang it up. I need to face you. I need to beat you. People think I don't have it anymore. People think I'm the laughing stock of the roster. How this old man can, how can he even make it down the ramp and all this other shit. And he's saying that here's the ace, though, that's barely making it down the ramp, and yet he's applauded. And everyone, holds you to high regard, but yet they throw me to the side. And as far as with Hiroki Goto, said you were the ace, you were the man, you were the vision, and yet I was second fiddle. I was a bridesmaid. I was never the bride. You could feel that there's legitimacy to that, as far as with Goto's, I would say, gripe with Tanahashi. And finally Tanahashi's like, you know what, alright. You get, as far as, what is it, singles, tag, what are we talking? And then Goto said, we have, as far as Koji Kamai's, Kazuchika Okada, he's been waiting. Obviously, he's the New Japan Strongboy champion, so he's a part of the New Japan Cup. So he's been waiting, wanting to get back into action. So how about, me, him, and we'll have Yo. As far as we'll have a youngster in there, so the old guys don't have to stink up the joint. You get your three, and we'll see you out there. So as far as there's a match set for the finals. And, this is, Goto was putting a lot out there. He was putting his heart and soul into that promo. Give him a little bit more time for it. I'll give him 6 minutes. But yeah, Nakamura, he goes on to the next round. He's in the final four. We'll let Kenta and Will Hobbs be the co-main. And Will Hobbs beats Kenta, so he's going on to the next round. And we'll see, as far as it's going to be Will Hobbs and Juice. It's going to be a Gaijin final. Or will it be another Gaijin final? But it won't be an American. It will be a English star. It's Pac, Juice Robinson, and it will be Pac getting the win. He beats Juice Robinson and Hiromu and the Great Okan. Hiromu Takahashi beats Okan in 25 minutes. So your final four is set. Pac versus Will Hobbs, Hiromu versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Kind of funny how that worked out. The Gaijin side or a native talent side. Kind of funny how that worked out. And besides Kenta, if like Jay White or Brody would have made it to the quarterfinals, it would have literally been, no matter what, a Gaijin native talent final. That's kind of cool to kind of think about it from that perspective. But yeah, that's where we're going to be at for the next night. And then as far as the undercard, so we have the Bomb Squad against LIJ, Bushi, and SB Kento losing to Jaro Kurashio, as far as Kurashio and Kawato getting the win. This is the Mr. Eichmann himself. TCS and Donna Del Mondo as the newest member. Donna Del Mondo, Natsui Sumiri, as far as Sumiri, and she's getting the win. She's going to beat Unagi, as far as little trios matchup to open up the show. Donna Del Mondo's super talented. I felt like they needed a win after losing to TCS on a previous night of the New Japan Cup. So yeah, we just have one more show than the finals. I think we're going to run Hokuto again, to be honest. Actually, what was day one? Day one we ran here. So we ran the Momotaro Ice Arena. We might run that again. Yeah, this seems like a good call. Alright. So yeah, we're good to go. Let's run it. 66 for the opener as Donna Del Mondo beating TCS. Yeah, TCS, they're not really built for a technical masterclass matchup, really. Rena was really off her game, though. She, by far was the worst woman in the match. Soletta, Athena, and Natsui did really well, and even Himari Unagi, she also got a 60, so not a bad little opener. 77 for Kuroshio and Kawato, as far as they beat SB Kento and Bushi. Bushi still having a great performance, even at his age. Super impressive. But as far as Kuroshio, he gets the one with the hybrid bomb. So the idea here is an inverted version of the time bomb that, as far as obviously Hiromu does. So basically, instead of, I would say it's an inverted version, but it's basically, well, the original hybrid bomb, hybrid bomb. So the original idea, I guess we could just have him do what he does as far as the hybrid blaster, which is like a hammerlock, like pile driver type of thing, where he gets him in a hammerlock and drops him into like a reverse pile driver. That Masakatsu Funaki does that, so that's why I didn't want to straight up do that, because I wanted him to adopt something from Hiromu, so I went with the hybrid bomb. So where it's maybe it's a hammerlock into it, and as far as the hammerlock picks him up into a time bomb. Kind of that idea. So as far as it's a crazy finish for sure. But as far as accidentally loaded up WMA 5 there. But SB Kento takes the hybrid bomb though in 1246. We also have changed him to the crazy Eichmann character. Yeah, that makes sense. He's that is pretty much what he is. Not really the crazy part. We're gonna, kind of bring. I feel like when you're a Tajiri student, you should be able to pull off something a little crazy. It's 86 for Hiromu and Okan. There's a time bomb, regular time bomb here for Hiromu over the Great Okan in 24:56. And great win, great matchup for Okan as well with a 70. Got the crowd hotter. Now I'm batting on 81 for Pac and Juice. They don't click, that's right. I remember that. That was the one match where they weren't going to click the entire tournament. So just was like, that's kind of a risky thing to do right before the Final Four into the quarterfinals. But, it was a good match still. I figured that it would be. It's an 87 for Kenta and Will Hobbs, the order of business. For Will Hobbs, he goes on to the semifinals. In our main event, it's 83 is the Bumaye. For Nakamura, though, he stops the ace. Was not the fairy tale ending that he wanted. Fucking Goto, though. God, he's just a mess. He's a fucking mess. Ishii even tried to help him out. It's like, go talk to him. Just shoving him out there in front of the camera. Brutal. At least it was a good little show. The wrong thing probably went on last, but I felt like that needed to go on last, though, with those two names. But yeah, we just got the final, you get to see the semifinals, which, as far as, of course, we already looked at the bracket, but we'll look at it again before we send it off here. Pac Juice, as that was a decent little matchup, but I think this Pac Will Hobbs match is going to be really, really good. And then Nakamura and Hiromu, that might be the best match of the year, to be honest. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, on to day 7 we go. Alrighty, the semifinals and the last tour show here before we get into the actual final card. As, let's waste no more time here. Let's get right into it. Backstage incident is Ishii passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford. But, yeah, I mean, this is huge. Of course, Pac, he made it to the finals last year. He's got a chance to do it again. This time he's got to go through Will Hobbs, though, instead of Tyler Black. And then Hiromu's won it in the past. Nakamura's won it in the past. So it's funny how that side has seen repeat winners. And then on this side, we have, as far as Hobbs never won it, he's never even made it to the finals. So he's got a chance to do what Brody Lee did, as far as to be able to win the New Japan Cup. He'd be the second Dark Order person, be the third Gaijin, and same thing for Pac, he'd be the third Gaijin, but he'd also be the only second English-born star to win a New Japan Cup. So very interesting how that's going to play. I will add this match first. It won't be the main, but it's a fun match to see first, as far as Pac and Will Hobbs. It's going to go over 30 minutes. Pac's going to get the win in 31 minutes. Now, Hiromu and Nakamura. If we see a win from Nakamura, we see interference, shockingly. As far as Hiromu, feels like he can't put away Nakamura. He's struggling with him. As far as we're going to give him a little bit more time, to about 34 minutes. Struggling to put him away. Little ref bump. He is signaling for someone to come out in the back. It's Wado. He's trying to interfere, but out comes Bushi, who stops him, throws him into the barricade. Hiromu's just, hands on his head like, shit, as far as there goes that. Tries to, put Nakamura away, still can't do it, but Bushi's not done, as the ref is still down. Hiromu, he is not not keeping his eyes on what's going on the outside. Bushi, hops on the apron, missed him. Now Hiromu's blinded. Nakamura, Bumaye, gets, as far as referee wakes up in time, covers him, but still that long time to, for the referee to wake up and get over there and make the count. Gives Hiromu enough time to count out, to kick out, rather, not count out, but he kicks out of it. Ends up getting, caught with another Bumaye, though, later on in the matchup, because that's, it's a false finish sequence, and it worked for a little bit longer, but Nakamura does it. He does, in fact, advance to the semifinals. Or not to the semifinals, to the actual finals. So, now I think we can look at the card, because to explain kind of the rest of this card, we need to look at the actual final show here. So, the final show. Of course, we have the New Japan Cup Finals, which we already knew was going to be the main event. But now we know who's the players. It's Pac, Nakamura in the finals. Women's title matchup, we already knew that was going to take place. Nakamura taking on Julia. But some of the new matches. U.S. title matchup. Shota Umino, the challenger, taking on Tyler Black. This match is to basically poke at Task Force Death a little bit more. Tyler Black, as far as what just took place on New Japan Strong, was we see the video that we described in the previous episode where Moxley escapes from House of Black, and also, inadvertently we see El Kukui's spear, as far as Moxley's worst nightmare, into the fire, and as far as they both are set ablaze. Now that's aired. That's aired, but it hasn't actually happened yet. It would, basically, with that airing, it would still not take place until then, as far as in the kind of, I guess, it's a weird thing to describe, because the airing doesn't mean that it's just already happened. The airing is like, it has happened, but nobody else in New Japan knows about it, if that makes any sense. It's I wouldn't say it's like a flashback because it's not. It's kind of like as far as maybe found footage type of thing, where as far as Moxley getting out of there in time and is as far as is able to still have no idea where as far as House of Black kept him, so he's still trying to figure out how to get back to civilization type of thing. So that's kind of the idea behind it. And it's mainly just a teaser so everybody knows, hey, he's out and he, potentially might be back. But House of Black are still under the impression that, Moxley's worst nightmare is okay, El Kukui's okay. Like, they don't know what's about to happen. That won't come into fruition until a little bit later. Actually, this show is kind of when they're like, hey, as far as Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles, Malachi Black are like, anyone see, Kukui, anybody see, as far as anyone see, as far as they don't say, Moxley's worst nightmare, anybody see the guy, type of thing, and everyone just, nope, nope, and everyone's just kind of, that's weird, as far as I guess it's just going to be the three of us tonight, because they have a match, Tyler Black, and I believe it's just a, it might be a trios match, I'm thinking about it. It is a trios match, so yeah, we'll add this now since we're talking about it. But yeah, as far as, and Pac's involved, as, actually Pac should not be involved. That's wrong, should be Kenta, or, yeah, not Kenta, it should be. As far as, where's Ray Fenix? There he is. There we go. So I had to fix that. There we go. Alright, yeah, because obviously Kenta's, he's not working well, Hobbs. Yeah, I guess we could have won with Kenta, but, oh god, they didn't save it. That was weird. As, let's back to Ray Fenix. There we go. Oh, Robbie Eagles, is he hurt? Oh, he's hurt. I completely forgot about the torn labrum. Wow, I'm an idiot. As, yeah, let's just make it a 2v2 match. That's fine. And Tyler Black. And Malachi Black. Shota Umino. Eddie Kingston. God, this has been all over the place, but we got it. There we go. And Shota Umino's going to get the win over Tyler Black. So there's been definitely some happenings with House of Black. Little do they know their house is falling apart, and they have no idea just yet. So as far as the match was set up, before all that happens, they still are under the impression that, they still have Moxley, and, as far as they're just kind of picking apart, and they're really poking the bear, as far as, Tyler Black, he's beating Eddie Kingston, now he wants to take on Moxley's, son, if you will, in Shooter. So there's that. So enough about that match. So the Never Point, 6-man tag team title matchup. And they might be wondering, why is Death Triangle not here? Obviously, Pac is one third of the champions. Well, Pentagon Jr., we're gonna say he's hurt, but he's not hurt. We're actually sending him to rehab. So titles are vacated. Qualification matches for this four corner trios matchup. So it's basically, you're going to see 12 men competing for this Never Avoid 6-man tag team titles. And it's going to be Dragon's Den versus Bomb Squad versus Designers of Perfection versus Blast Off. And there's going to be 2 qualifying matches. Or actually, there's going to be 4 in general, but there's 2 here, and there's going to be 2 on the next Strong taping. And those 4 winners are going to obviously be these 4 teams. So you're going to see 2 of these qualifying matches here on this show, which obviously we'll add here in a little bit. Then a junior tag team title matchup. Paris De Silva and Burberry Baba taking on Francesco Akira and El Hero del Airbender. As since Jude's still hurt, and we saw a little bit of this at the anniversary show, we're going to see a little bit of it here on this final tour show. Building up to this matchup, it's going to be Sonata with Paris De Silva and Burberry Baba. They're going to take on Akira Airbender. I want to say I was going to be Okada, but we just did that at the anniversary show, so we switched up a little bit. Then, of course, we're going to have an LIJ Bomb Squad match, which that's going to be Naito, Shingo, Bushi against the Bomb Squad of Hiromu, Kawato, and Rush. So we'll see how that plays out. Then the Kingston Ray Phoenix matchup against Malachi Black and Robbie Eagles, which that's now going to have to be changed to probably just maybe Eddie Kingston and Malachi Black, just straight up singles match. Yeah, so we'll change that. And then the opener, which we just saw be added to the card. Tanahashi, Fujinami, and Hashimoto against Goto, Okada, and Io in an opening contest. So, as far as that's where we're at for the final show. So now we can go into this. As far as Blast Off, House of Torture. Obviously, we know Blast Off's going to win this matchup and go on to the four-corner trios matchup, as Takuya Nomura is going to beat Brody King. Desires of Perfection and Koji Kamai, which we talked about here. Sonata going to be beating Francesco Akira. Then the Dragon's Den against the United Empire. So it's a great win for the Dragon's Den team. It's Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Sho. They're going to get the win. They're going to take on Alexander Gulak, and Moriarty. So that's a big win, though, for the Dragon's Den team. Yeah, we're good to go, though, now. As far as, everything's booked up, ready to go. A lot as far as a lot of building blocks here. We got a lot of stuff building from Strong. We got we need to crown a new Never Openweight champion, which we need to vacate the belts now, actually. So, yeah, vacate it. Sucks, but it's for the best for them. As far as with Ray Phoenix, Death Triangle are awesome. I can't wait for Pentagon Jr. to be healthy, though. Because, he's abusing painkillers, and we need to kind of snip that in the butt while we can. It sucks he's going to be actually gone for almost the entire year. He'll be back in December, so it's going to be a while before we see him again. Unfortunately. 69 year for the opener, Dragon's Den, United Empire. We get a stiff neck for Lee Moriarty. That is tough. But Sho with the Dragon Sleeper over Josh Alexander. Huge win for Sho. We're still not giving up on our boy just yet. Kana being one of the only women's road agents we have. Then the Steal the Show matchup for Desires of Perfection and Koji Kamai. Sonata with a moonsault, rolling body press, if you will, gets the win in 11:36 over Francesca Akira. It's a good little match, though. Yo, worst guy in the match. No surprise, so Sho and Yo stinking up the joint in the opener. Blast Off versus House of Torture. It's the 90. As Bushi, Abe, Miro, and Jay White all doing 80s here. That's some good stuff. It's Takuya Nomura, though, with the Dragon Suplex win over Brody King. Yeah, just sucks, because Takuya Nomura was really cooking. And then, of course, that long injury that year-long absence really fucked him. Hasn't really been the same since. An 85 here for Kingston Umino against Tyler Black and Malachi Black. Showed Umino, though, with the Death Rider over Malachi Black. Big win for Shooter, and Tyler Black carrying this one, as always. It's crazy how talented he is. Then Will Hobbs and Pac as a 96 corkscrew shooting star press for Pac over Will Hobbs. Gets the win in 31 minutes in our main event. It's a 93. The Boomae from Nakamura over Hiromu. So he gets the win. Interference from Bushi, which I'm sure Nakamura doesn't mind, as he's able to go on to the finals. And there we go. As far as the tour is over, the tournament's over. Another New Japan Cup in the books. So we're going to put over Pac, we're going to put over Nakamura, and we're going to put over, trying to think, Sonata. Probably. He did really great in his match. Yeah, that's fine. Give him a hug. Good stuff there. Alrighty, so on to the New Japan Cup Finals. Alrighty, we are here for the finals of the 2026 New Japan Cup. As the opener, of course, we see Hiroki Goto lose to Daichi Hashimoto, gets dropped on his head with a vertical drop brainbuster in 20 minutes, 1953, if you want to be exact. But yeah, Tanahashi, Fujinami, and Hashimoto getting a big win. It's crazy Daichi Hashimoto was the first guy in this match. As, afterwards, though, as we see with Tanahashi still is in the ring with Goto afterwards. It kind of helps him up to his feet, and Okada's helping him up to his feet, and Tanahashi and Goto, there's, it seems like maybe, they're gonna try to bury the hatchet. They do. And Goto, he takes off his boots, leaves him in the ring, kneels down, as far as bows everyone each side of the ring, and looks like that is it. As at least, Hiroki Goto hanging it up. Leaves his boots in the ring, leaves his, as far as his entrance attire, the little, that little hood, and as far as leaves that in the ring as well, and the end of Hiroki Goto's career. He's got a post-show press conference to talk about a little bit more in depth there, but as far as at least for now, it seems like that's the end. As then our next contest, Eddie Kingston, Malachi Black, the singles contest, with Eddie Kingston getting the win over Malachi Black with the sliding D, as Malachi Black really off his game, so pretty brutal matchup though, nonetheless, but Kingston gets the win. So we see LIJ beat the Bomb Squad as Roosh gets caught with a Destino after a man jumps the guardrail with a mask in his hand, and it is La Sombra. Andrade himself, El Idolo, as right now, at least at this moment, there's going to be a press conference in depth a little later on, obviously, at the post-show. But Roosh looks like he's seen a ghost. I mean, it's a man that he has not seen now for, God, at that point, 2026, he left CMLL as far as La Sombra. That was 2012? 2013? Around that time? So it's been over 10 years. And of course, that's last time he was in New Japan as well. Obviously, it was around that time. And actually, maybe a little later than that. Yeah, probably a little later than that. But, yeah, I mean, as far as for Sombra, back in New Japan, and he is a part of LIJ, the unmasked La Sombra, as we're just going to have him be La Sombra for now. Felt like that was kind of the best case scenario, as with him, obviously he's been a part of New Japan in the past, so it's a return, and yeah, I mean, it's massive for LIJ, though, to have somebody like La Sombra back in LIJ is huge for him. So they lose out on Roosh and Hiromu, but they at least get La Sombra now as he has returned. Yeah, I mean, a huge victory and a huge swing of momentum for LIJ. They needed it in the worst of ways as well. As our junior heavyweight tag team title matchup, it's an 85. As Burberry Baba and Paris De Silva, pretty good matchup here with Airbender and Francesco Akira. As he knocked out Airbender with a 630 over Burberry Baba. That's their second defense of the junior tag team titles. It's 84. Yes, this was going to be a 4-way, but you can't have a 4-way in TEW. I just realized that as kind of when I was preparing for this. During the New Japan Strong taping, I was like, oh shit, you can only have as far as having the 3 and not 4. So, basically, we had to get rid of one team, and it felt like Designs of Perfection. They didn't need to be here, so went away with that. So, we have the Dragon's Den, we have the Bomb Squad, and we have Blast Off, which, as the Bomb Squad, get the win in Ryu Lee, Samurai Do Sol, and Demonic Bomba. They get the win. Tough break for Blast Off. They're a hell of a team. Of course, they were the previous champions. And then for Dragon's Den, they just didn't have it as far as compared to Bomb Squad. So at least Bomb Squad, they get something out of this night with a massive win. And it would have been our first fall to the finish. It wouldn't have been an elimination-style matchup anyways. I forgot to change that as well. That was an 84. 91 for the U.S. title matchup, as Tyler Black does, in fact, retain. He beats Shota Umino with a curb stomp. After the match, lights flicker on and off, and as far as it's kind of like a pulse effect, and a spotlight on the entrance ramp, and dragging a charred Moxley's Worst Nightmare, and also has over his shoulder a burnt, decapitated head of, basically we're going to use like a dummy head, and, we give it long hair, and we paint it up to where it looks like El Kukui, but we don't take it's a long shot of it, but we see a close-up of, obviously a burnt mask and body of Mox's Worst Nightmare, and he's back. as far as Tyler Black is just stunned silent, can't believe it, and he's even so scared of Moxley that he heads up through the crowd, doesn't go through to the back, as a hopefully a big ovation from Moxley, as he's now back officially, as far as with the New Japan Strong, as far as that whole angle with, as far as Yota Tsuji, now as far as he's gone as El Kukui, death to that character, and I mean, as far as I felt like the El Kukui character, it's ran its course. He could, I feel like his kind of best chance to really get to another level is to be himself. So it was a fun little gimmick for a little bit, got his foot in the door, and as far as he ran with it for a couple of years, but it's time for something else. But man, House of Black, from 5 members to 3, just like that. As far as from that regard, women's title matchup, they don't click. It's Hana Kimura and Julia. That's a pretty terrible co-main event. Julia gets the win, though, with a crossbody. That's her 8th defense. Unreal. What a performance from her. Hana Kimura outperformed her. She is still the women's champion. Julia's laying out with just a trail of bodies on her path. Still be the women's champion, to be the IWGP women's champion. She's defended that belt all over the world, much like every women's champion has. When you have the belt for any amount of time, you're going to Canada for Impact, you're going to AEW, and as far as in America, you're going to CMLL, in Japan, obviously, for not only for us, but for Stardom, for Oz, for a lot of places. Also, as far as with us, as far as we've ran shows in Australia, we've ran shows in the UK, we've ran shows in America as well, and in Mexico. So you have to defend that belt everywhere. It is a world championship in all regards. So that's a massive victory, though, for Julia to make it 8 defenses. In our main event, we see Pac get the win with the 630. He beats Nakamura, and he is your New Japan Cup winner. It's funny enough, so that's now been both Sonata and Pac. They were in the finals the previous year that they go on to win the whole thing. So it's funny how that's worked out. It's not been on purpose. As far as Sonata's was a little bit on purpose, I will say that, but Pac's wasn't. Pac's was like, it's finally time for him to get some big momentum his way, and I think a match with him and Konosuke Takeshita is going to be incredible, which, you see the post-show press conference, that's basically that, as, with Ray Fenix, with, mainly just, all of Task Force Death are behind him, as they, as far as celebration with the flag waving, with the big trophy, head to the back, you see as far as with Pac, sits down with the trophy, talks about, as far as how hard he's worked for this, how he's just a kid from Newcastle that had a dream and has been living that dream for over 20 years now, and has been performing, in Japan for a couple of years now, and it obviously talks about before that, and how he was always seen as a junior, never thought that he would reach this kind of ceiling as a main event heavyweight star, but he's done it. And as far as this huge victory, it's just the beginning for him. So then, sure, it would have been great to be the first British champion, but as far as the British champion, British winner of the New Japan Cup, and also would be, the first British heavyweight champion, but Zack Sabre Jr., he's done that. They just kind of laughs that off and says, well, I'm going to do something that he couldn't do. I'm going to do something that Brody couldn't do. And that's after winning this cup, I'm going to beat Konosuke Takeshita at Sakura Genesis. So, building up to that match with a valiant victory, and is something that not a lot of champions have done, as far as winning the New Japan Cup and then going on to beat the champion. So, a lot of big shoes to fill for Pac there. That's a big task for him. Then we see Moxley with a delighted Kingston and even delighted Shota Umino, as they're reunited again. Umino, even though he's, as far as Moxley just saying, thanks for holding the fort down, fellas, calls out Tyler Black, says, listen, you put my team through hell, and you've running around with a belt. You hired somebody to take me out, and you drove me to hell and back and defeated him. And defeated him in a big, big way, which, funny enough, he didn't technically do that. That was kind of more Yota Tsuji inadvertently, spearing Moxley's worst nightmare into the flames. But as far as he takes the credit for it, and as far as he escaped the House of Black and says that your house is falling apart, brick by brick, and he's getting his belt back, a belt that he never lost. As far as with his idea, as far as he never lost it, but he technically did. As far as Moxley's worst nightmare beat him, but you get it. As far as with Tyler Black, Moxley, it's a match that's been built up for a long time, and we're finally going to get it. As far as it's been a match that was supposed to be at Wrestle Kingdom, we get it, though, for Sakura Genesis, so another Sakura Genesis matchup laid out. Then we see La Sombra with, as far as the rest of LIJ, besides SB Kento, but as far as with Naito, a delighted Tetsuya Naito, saying that he's not the only guy that can have a phone call to bring in some guys, as he's brought in a man that has embodied Tranquilo for a long time, a man that's back in New Japan. He is, he's from the darkness, and now he's been brought to the light with his, as far as with his dashing beard, and as far as this man is going to look to take LIJ to the next level, and maybe even the future. As far as what LIJ is all about, it is La Sombra, as far as the idol, even, drops that as far as, man that's been all over the world. It's funny, in WWE, he was in this save. He was WWE champion. He was like one of their best performers. This is a big get. Big get for LIJ, and a big get for us to have him back in New Japan. Long time coming. We had him in CMLL for a hot minute once we signed him, because I was just waiting on this moment. And of course, obviously, it's awesome to have him back in CMLL, but obviously he's now going to be on the main New Japan roster. And then we have Goto as far as saying his farewells, his goodbyes, saying he just felt like tonight was the night that, as far as he's been talking a lot of shit, wanting to still think that he had it in him, that he could be able to keep up with a lot of guys on the roster, but it's been evident that his body's, at the point now where he physically can't do it anymore. Wanted to leave it all out there one last time with some of the best in the world, like, Kazuchika Okada, like Tanahashi, and coming up short really kind of put it in perspective. Getting dropped on his head didn't feel so good either, but, talks about what he's seen from this company, as far as where he was, seen through the Inokiism era, through all of the ups and downs of New Japan, to now being able to, and here in the save, 80,000 people at the National Stadium. Shocking, to see all those people, and he is just blessed, blessed to have been a part of it all. And thanks everyone, thanks all the fans, thanks everybody, and that hits the road. It's the final time as far as for Hiroki Goto. I'm shocked that this went so well, to be honest, especially with that co-main event. Bit of a swing and a miss, but a pretty jam-packed show. We get a retirement, we get a return. We get a lot of returns, actually. We get Moxley's back from being gone for a couple of months, but we also get the return of La Sombra, put LIJ, so a new wrinkle in that. A lot going on. And, man, Sakura Genesis is going to be fucking crazy. Pac into Takeshita, that's a hell of a match. That's a hell of a main event. That might even be better than Nakamura and him. So that was great. We'll love to see, Tyler Black and Moxley's a hell of a co-main as well. I'm sure we'll have other matches on the card. I want to have a Bomb Squad LIJ match for sure. As far as I want to see, we're going to have Daichi Hashimoto take on Francesco Akira as well for the women's side, for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. So that should be exciting to see. And all around, Sakura Genesis is looking pretty good. So we're going to give a hug to Goto. I just feel like, Goto's time... Oh, I hit Eddie Kingston and not Hiroki Goto. What an idiot. Oh, we hugged Kingston anyways. But yeah, Hiroki Goto, it's a long time coming from him. I can't believe he hasn't retired yet already, so we're just going to force his hand. But, that just kind of is what it is from that perspective. feel like it's just needed more than anything. But yeah, I mean, Sakura Genesis, it's a short time. It's only a month, or not even a month. It's a little over a week away. As far as it's 2 weeks away to be exact, but well, actually, it's technically 2 weeks. But yeah, I mean, as far as Pac, the Konosuke Takeshita, we'll have that. We'll probably do Naito and Sombra, actually, against Hiromu and Rush. That's probably the plan there, so we'll change that. We'll add, obviously, the U.S. title match with Tyler Black and Jon Moxley. And, as far as we'll add some other things on the card as well. At least for now, that's our advertised matches. And we'll probably, as far as we'll get into the booking page and really look and see what makes sense, or at least for Sakura Genesis. Probably some tag team title matches on the horizon. That's probably a good idea there, as far as with Ashino and Claudio having a title match. Maybe even both have them and Zack Sabre Jr. and Volter defend their titles. We'll see. And so thank you all for watching, though, and we'll catch you guys next time for Sakura Genesis. Take care, everyone.